And colleagues, we continue a series of our press briefings, and now we will discuss the next topic, securing Ukrainian patriotic local government in Kharkiv region, and we will speak with Dmytro Drobot and Dmytro Marynin. Good afternoon. Today we represent residents of the Kharkiv region. We came from Kharkiv to have a rally and demonstration near the presidential administration. We have brought 300 people in order to express our views to the president. We brought this address from the Kharkiv activists, Gromadska Varta Kharkiv, Kharkiv Civic Forum, Kharkiv Self-Defense. We comprise 30 different civic organizations in Kharkiv region. We believe that the situation in the Kharkiv region is rather difficult. Kharkiv appeared to be the border, pre-border territory. Kharkiv is not far from the border with the Russian Federation. The second reason of our appeal to the president is that the city authorities remain inactive in and they continue to calm down people and say that it's quite fine, that bomb shelters are prepared, that IDPs are accommodated, that servicemen are in the hospitals, and everything is good. There is no separatist moods, etc. But when our activists and simply those who are patriots, they go to the borderline, they observe that there is nothing done when we want to dig up pits along the border and create ramparts. We feel no support from the local authorities. They do not give us any machinery. They allow us to dig and to build up ramparts with spades, actually. About bomb shelters, there was only one bomb shelter presented to broad public, while nobody checked the condition of that bomb shelter, what's inside, and actually it stayed neglected for more than 20 years. Also, we feel that separatist modes, which are now remained on the bottom of social consciences, nevertheless, we feel how they start to manifest themselves. We observed several spontaneous rallies, and administrative resources were used to bring even children into this separatist rally. And we have a considerably small win in the in the security service of Ukraine. These are people who cooperate with us. The presidential vertical is rather weak in Kharkiv region. That's why we came to the president with 7 requirements. all of them, all of those demands are aimed at changing the situation in Kharkiv Oblast radically. We require to resume criminal investigations as to Kerna Sadopkin. We request to open criminal proceedings against all the candidates, the members of parliament who try to bribe voters, to change the head of the Kharkiv Oblast administration, and to appoint a person coordinated with the public, to change the prosecutor of the region, the heads of the local enforcement agencies, to change the heads of the educational sphere at the regional level, and to coordinate all the new appointments with broad public in the region. Good afternoon. Our today's visit to President Poroshenko is a visit aimed at to provide assistance to the president. We represent 99.9% of people who care about today's situation. And our objective on visiting the president is to share the opinion that the situation in Kharkiv Oblast is rather tough. We understand that the president is extremely busy. We understand that he has scheduled meetings at the top governmental level. We observe how careless a visit the different meetings, and in result of those meetings, we receive new candidates as the members of parliament who voted for 16th January laws. We observe how old members of parliament try to get access to the parliament in order to promote Putin's interests. Active MP Pisarenko is the personal friend of Portnov, who used to be a personal supporter of Yanukovych, and today he is a consultant to Putin on the Ukrainian issues. If we want to prevent warfare in Kharkiv region and in Ukraine, we should prevent these figures from coming to the parliament. Otherwise, the third Maidan may appear. In order to prevent this situation, we came today to see the president. You should remember that when Kiernes speaks, you should multiply it by 0. That is, his words value nothing. Mr. Kiernes can both pay for the separatist arrangements and at the same time to pretend that he is fighting with separatists. You should not play cards with the gambler. And thank you very much. Whether we have any questions? Yes, we have a question. Ali Kierman, independent mass media. Could you please explain explain why you're so much afraid of Kurnas? He's not healthy man now. Why you're so afraid of Kurnas? Why do you think that we are afraid of Kurnas? 3 days ago, there were a lot of people who were his guests in the National Hotel in Kharkiv. Those who are afraid of him, these are his close supporters and personal friends. We have prosecutor of the city, Mr. Popovich. He was dismissed from his position, but in a week he appeared back. But actually, he turned the prosecutor's office into his private company. The entire all the authorities, all the leaders in authority are appointed by Kurnas, heads of law enforcement agencies. For example, Mr. Fomenko currently seeks very actively his position back in law enforcement agencies. Those who are involved in the corruption, they are afraid of Kurnas, but those who are not involved in corruption affairs, they are not afraid of him. Today there was a rally near your rally near the presidential administration. What was the result of it? Whether you managed to reach the president? It seems to us that somehow this way or that way we will reach the president and he will hear us. Today we attended the first deputy president, his first assistant. I'm not sure whether it will help, but as far as I know, as of the moment, the Kharkiv activists have blocked Patriotic Street, and we understand that president is busy.
We know that our president is busy with really important governmental affairs, but we wouldn't come if not for Kharkiv situation. To prevent the catastrophe, we came here and we want the president to listen to us, to hear us, because we believe that the president is the only leader of all the reforms and changes in our country. How many people are there? We've brought some 150 persons. We also invited Kievites of Kharkiv origin. We used to have a very well-known musician, Fagot. He is also a Kharkiv guy. And we have a lot of our friends, so we invited quite a number. So, your assessment, how many people in Kharkiv support Kurnas? Well, all the social inquiries, surveys are conducted. They are conducted at the governmental entities, but we assess it as zero. Hello, Sergei Pavyonish, Association of Private Employers. Why your deputies, city deputies, voted for voted for allowing the citizens of Ukraine to be awarded with dignitary Kharkiv citizen? Well, I think it's the addition to the Igor Girman's question, who and why is afraid of Kurnas. This session was really unprecedented. The first, which I was really furious at, and all the civil society of Kharkiv. I had my floor at the beginning of the session. I addressed the deputies, and I suggested to have holding the minute of bereavance for the those died in 80. Only 5 people supported me. I had to duplicate my address, and I should say that all those were waiting for Kernes sign. So, in fact, he leads and manages and even manipulates the deputies. All those who are members of Party of Regions are really has no their say, and votes, you know, you understand what kind of voting was it. We had only 69 pro, 3 abstained, and 4 were against. I was one of those who was against because I perfectly well understood who were those people. One of them was a business person, a person from Kharkiv who runs business in Kharkiv. The second one was the deputy of the Council for Federation who voted for Crimea annexation, Mr. Shishkin. And the third one was Kernes. And in fact, they are probably they hold the monopoly. Their business is about monopoly, and Kernes is in fact their executive, or well, in fact, he takes care after their businesses. That was his instruction, and that what he's instructed his ships, and they just faked this decision. I believe that as of today, neither city authorities, no oblast authorities, and not even Kharkiv chairman has no right to chair the Kharkiv Council and represent Kharkiv people. Question: are there any criminal proceedings against Kernes? As you know, we've heard that these criminal proceedings has been suspended because of his health condition, and it might have been renewed. However, we don't have any authentic information. We think there are some under-table agreements, and I have a feeling that Kernes is still continues his frauding activities and his con artist activities with people of Ukraine. The question is there, as we know, Kharkiv is engaged in election campaign, and we have a lot of old authorities representatives. Are they different from the new candidates? And if new candidates are different, how? So I'm absolutely sure that current parliament needs new people, people who were not known for any dealings with previous regions, and those who are able to innovate and to stop war. Because, you know, these war games, people are tired of those war games. The first priority, I believe, for any new parliament members are stopping the war. If they can't prevent and stop the war, let them become members of a military regiment of Verkhovna Rada, of the parliament, and participate in these activities. We are ready to protect, to defend Ukraine, but our first priority is to stop war, to strengthen the country. We need to heal the country, which has been robbed for 23 years. And that's us who can do that. I would like to add that unlike, for example, Western Ukraine, Kharkiv is, well, you know, is known for, you know, being forced out all the liberty by Party of Regions. all those who were elected back in 2012 are Party of Regions people. All of them are registered as self-elected people, and as it was mentioned, Mr. Kernes came to Kiev to negotiate his status, and I believe that if we can't stop that right now, we will lose hope. We've been struggling this power for 9 months. We have been doing that without any break, either military people or hospitals assistants. You know, all those volunteering initiatives are very widely spread, and now we have election campaign, and if the president won't pay any attention to that, revolutions usually love company, and we must take serious actions against that. And I believe that game changers for Kharkiv regions can be as follows. During all criminal procedures against Kernes, all their activities, their powers should be suspended. He should be taken out of his office. And number two, we need to change the leaders of the regions, of the oblast, especially the governor, because current governor is, we unable to both work together or find anything in common with current governor. Unfortunately, we don't have much time for questions, and for me, Kharkiv was very proactive city, and I believe that the Kharkiv will be as active